Just to recap very quickly, Donald Trump tweeting this morning. Well, first of all, let me back up a little bit and provide maybe a larger frame of context. There has been this movement to try to basically punish Israel for the partitioning, essentially, of Gaza and the expansion of settlements on the West Bank. And, you know, in violation of UN resolutions or whatever the appropriate word is there. And it's called the BDS movement, the boycott, divest, and sanction. In other words, boycott, don't buy products from Israel, divest, don't buy stock in Israeli companies, and have governments sanction Israel. And, you know, I'm not an advocate of the BDS movement, and, you know, just to be on the record about that. I think that there are much better ways to influence your own allies. But Israel's pretty freaked out about this. And they passed a law, their Knesset, their parliament, their legislative body passed, and it was signed into law back in March of this year, back 4 or 5 months ago, passed a law saying that if anybody is an advocate of the BDS movement, they will not be allowed to enter Israel. Now, Representative Ilhan Omar and Representative Rashida Tlaib, Tlaib is actually Palestinian ancestry, and she has relatives who live in Israel. I mean, you know, she has relatives who lived there before Israel was Israel. And Representative Omar is also Muslim, and they have both actually, I believe, said that they endorse, or at least given some comfort to, shall we say, the BDS movement. Now, if I'm looking at these two people coming in, Steny Hoyer is putting together this group of 41 Democrats who are going to visit Israel this weekend. And Tlaib and Omar were among them. And in fact, Tlaib was going to stay an extra few days and visit her family on the West Bank. And the Israeli ambassador, Ron Dermer, yesterday said, they're welcome. You know, we're an open society. We're a democracy. They represent another country, a foreign country. They're duly elected representatives of the United States. Tlaib and Omar are welcome here in Israel. And that's the way it should be handled, right? As, you know, this is just straightforward stuff. So then Trump comes out and tweets this morning, it would show great weakness if Israel allowed Rep. Omar and Rep. Tlaib to visit. They hate Israel and all Jewish people, which, by the way, is a lie. There's no evidence that these people hate Israel or hate Jews. And there is nothing that can be said or done to change their minds. With this, you know, this Trump, like, he lies and then he, like, twists the knife, right? Minnesota and Michigan will have a hard time putting them back in office. No, I have a feeling they're going to, you know, vigorously reelected. He says, they are a disgrace, right? So immediately, what does Netanyahu do? Trump says jump. Netanyahu says how high? Trump says keep them out. Netanyahu says, okay, cool. Now, even AIPAC is saying members of Congress, members of the United States House of Representatives should be allowed in Israel. I mean, Israel is the largest recipient of U.S. foreign aid in the world and has been since Jimmy Carter's administration, since the Camp David Accords. Israel is a strong ally of the United States, a strategic ally in a region that's extremely unstable. Israel is one of the, I think, perhaps the only democracy in that region. Now, I strongly disagree with a lot of Likud's policies and a lot of Netanyahu's policies, and so do, I think, a little more than half of Israelis. And you can read about this in the left-wing Israeli newspaper, Haaretz. You know, they're online. And you can read the right-wing perspective in the Jerusalem Post. Yeah, it's all right there. It's a vibrant, active democracy with loud debate, which is good. But this is going to highlight the BDS movement, and it's going to hurt Israel. And Netanyahu is going along with Trump on this, which raises an interesting question.